Ever find yourself, browsing those real estate apps, looking at houses and thinking, I could flip this, make quick buck.
Oh, absolutely. The age-old dream, right? Everyone wants to be the next big house flipper.
Yeah, and this is key. How often do we actually get to see the, nitty-gritty financials behind these projects?
Right. It's easy to get swept up in the before and after glamour shots, but the real story is in the numbers.
100%. So today, we're doing exactly that, taking a deep dive into the financials of an actual house flip. And we've got our hands on what seems to be some sort of document, maybe a spreadsheet,
Little birdie, perhaps.
something like that, yeah. But it lays out all the costs, the sale price, even how the profit was split. It's fascinating stuff.
And more importantly, it gives us a glimpse into the strategies at play and, maybe some takeaways for those thinking about dipping their toes into the house flipping waters.
Love that. So let's jump right in. First things first, this property, it was initially purchased for $142,500. Now, I'm no real estate mogul, but that seems like a decent starting point. What do you think?
See, this is where things get interesting. The purchase price on its own, not that meaningful. The real question is, was it a good deal relative to its potential after a, makeover?
Okay, so context is king. Got it.
Precisely. And speaking of makeovers, the document, it says they spent $64,020 on renovations. Now that number right there, that speaks volumes.
64,000. That's not like just a fresh coat of paint. That's a serious chunk of change. So were they dealing with like a total disaster, or are they going for that, high-end luxury vibe?
$1 million question. And unfortunately, this document, as detailed as it is, doesn't give us all the specifics, but we can make some educated guesses. Imagine this. A house needing a complete gut job versus one that just needs, say, some cosmetic touch-ups, maybe a swanky new kitchen to woo those, discerning buyers.
Totally. The strategy there completely changes who they're trying to attract and probably how much they can ultimately sell it for.
Exactly. Different strokes for different folks, even in the house flipping world.
And on top of the purchase price and that hefty renovation bill, there's another $4,275 listed as buying costs. I'll admit, those always sneak up on me.
Oh, they're sneaky, but oh, so important. It's easy to overlook those less glamorous expenses, right? We're talking inspections, title searches, transfer taxes, all those little things that keep the lawyers happy, but add up fast.
Essential evils, I guess you could say.
Precisely. And speaking of essential evils, once you've poured all that money into buying and fixing up a property, the clock starts ticking, my friend.
Right, like a ticking time bomb of expenses.
In a way, yes. Every month that house sits on the market adds to the holding costs, which in this case totaled $4,000.
Okay, so break down holding costs for me. What all goes into that?
Think of it as everything you need to keep the lights on, literally and figuratively, while you're waiting for that perfect buyer. We're talking property taxes, insurance, maybe some utility bills, all those fun things.
$4,000, though. That doesn't sound like they were holding on to this property for too long. Does that point to a hot market? Where houses are basically flying off the shelves?
It could, absolutely. A quick turnaround is often the goal in flipping, right? Minimizes your risk, keeps those holding costs in check, but, and this is a big but, it can also mean leaving potential profit on the table if the market is appreciating quickly.
It's all about timing then.
Timing is everything in real estate. It's not just about buying low and selling high, but also about striking while the iron is hot, as they say.
All right, enough suspense. Let's get to the good stuff. Yeah. The sale price. Drum roll, please. They managed to sell this flipped house for $269,900. Not too shabby at all, right?
Now we're talking. Of course, we can't forget about those pesky closing costs, which came in at $13,495. Always a bit of a buzzkill.
Yeah, those definitely sting a bit. But even with that, doing the math here, they still walked away with a profit of $41,610.
Now that, my friend, is a number worth celebrating. But beyond the sheer dollar amount, let's talk ROI, return on investment. In this case, they snagged a 19% return.
19%. Okay. That's not just good, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Makes you think twice about leaving your money in that, savings account, doesn't it?
Right. Suddenly, those interest rates are looking pretty pitiful.
But wait, there's one more layer to this whole thing. Our trusty document, it mentions a 50-50 split of the profits, with each party receiving $20,805. So it wasn't just one savvy flipper raking in the dough. It sounds like there was a partner in the mix.
Ah, yes. The plot thickens. Partnerships are incredibly common in the world of flipping houses. It could be anything from, a couple of friends pooling their resources to a seasoned investor backing the project.
So much to unpack from just this one deal. It's incredible. We're talking strategies, market trends, potential partnerships. It's like a masterclass in real estate, all packed into one little document.
And that's the beauty of these deep dives, isn't it? We're not just analyzing one house flip, but we're giving our listeners the tools to decode any deal that pops up on their radar.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, here's a little something to ponder. What does this flip tell us about the real estate market at that particular time? Was this an easy win, easily replicable, or did they just get incredibly lucky with a perfect storm of, market factors and a great eye for potential? Something to think about.